Sejanus stood within the tomb of Lord Solar Macharius. His head was bowed. The coffin containing Macharius was as oversized as the personality of the Lord Solar. It was a huge edifice of adamantine, set on a marble block gilded with gold lace. It sat in a deep, circular pit, its ceramite walls inscribed with metal scrolls held aloft by etched-out angels. In high Gothic calligraphy, those scrolls formed an eternal honour roll of Macharius's triumphs and miracles, an exhaustive account of his legendary crusade. Even now, those triumphs towered over Sejanus, making him feel small and insignificant. Sejanus, commander of the Second Army Group, settler of Ultima Macaria, vanquisher of the Vulvan Spliced. An old sad man full of regrets, he thought. The coffin bore the likeness of Macharius. Stone was carved with the stern resoluteness of his jaw and the hook of his aquiline nose. But that image was obscured by 100 swords, placed reverently upon his tomb by generals of the Imperial Guard. Sejanus's was there too. His brow creased. To look upon the grave now, it seemed as if each general had run the Lord Solar through, 100 mortal blows pin-cushioning the great man and his legacy. Sejanus sighed. The air was filled with incense and song. Choir battalions of the Ministorum performed above him. 3,000 men and women who would maintain their vigil for 100 days of mourning. He glanced to the way out. A single door, curiously unadorned and leading to the staircase back to the galleries above. Sejanus sighed again. He was in no mood to use that door just yet. Sejanus was alone. Lysander had been the last to leave before him. He had saluted the Lord Solar one last time before joining the others in the cloisters above. "What was it?" Sejanus asked the grave. His voice was quiet, lost beneath the triumphal choirs of the Ministorum. "Did you remember Tarka's face after Adrentis 5? Did you fear the same would happen to you?" The general chuckled to himself. "Of course not. You were never afraid of anything. It was pride. Richter was your student, your protege. The very thought that you might have failed. Of course you had to answer him." He sighed. "You were played. Damn it, sir, but you were played." Running a hand through his mane of bright red hair, Sejanus turned and made his way to the cloisters. "If you want to cut off your own balls with this false modesty, then go ahead, Arian. Just don't expect me to do the same."
"Damn you, Crassus! He is not but 1 day in the ground, and already you seek advantage."
"Of course I do. What else would he have expected? Don't you remember what he said about us?" Sejanus marched into the room, finding Macharius's greatest generals squabbling around a bust of the Lord Solar. "Many in the Administratum doubted his choice to generals," he answered, by way of introduction. "They said we were dangerous." He agreed with them. "Of course they're dangerous," the old man said. "They're wolves, but they are my wolves." Approving chuckles rippled across the room. Crassus strode over to Sejanus and clapped his arm. The famous scar that ran between his right eye and lip provided Crassus with a permanent, lopsided scowl, but Sejanus knew the man well enough to recognize he was smiling. Borgen Crassus, commander of the 5th Army Group, perhaps the greatest of Macharius's rivals, musterer of the Ogrins of Hrom, conqueror of Yix.
A bloody nuisance.
Sejanus, help me make this fanatic see sense. You've grown fat, Crassus, Sejanus replied. Is all that food you promised to the Ogrins and ate for yourself? Crassus bellowed laughter. Ha! I promised them all the rations they could eat, and I made good on that promise. Is it my fault that the killing fields of Volkov left so few of them alive? You should not even be here, Crassus, Lysander objected. The pale highborn was almost misshapen under bands of interfolding muscle. Gen-augmented arms were crossed in stiff rebuke beneath the crisp folds of his uniform. Lysander of Charybdis, commander of the 4th Army Group. Explorer of the Argent Zones. Banisher of the Void Wraiths of Grecian.
A creditable man, whose honour will one day break him.
Crassus spun. And why's that? Lysander was steady. Do you think we don't know what you did? Of the treachery you orchestrated?
You are a traitor,
hissed Arian. The dishevelled general shuddered. Fingers twitched for the plasma pistol at his belt. His hair was wild and unkempt. Entire patches were bald and bleeding where he had wrenched the follicles from his own scalp. Sejanus hid a scowl. Arian of the Melanites, commander of the 6th Army Group. Cleanser of Andosk, rouser of Montipol.
A religious extremist who will cause no end of problems. Enough, Arian. Do not sully the Lord Solar's peace with the threat of war.
The words, carried with quiet force, had come from Tarka. He stood in the corner, lumen lights catching the raised flesh of dueling scars against the darkness of his skin. His eyelashes were long. They cast shadows across mournful eyes. Sejanus nodded in agreement. Tarka of Hymenes, commander of the 3rd Army Group. One of the best swordsmen in the sector. Unfortunate discoverer of Adrantis 5.
A man haunted by the failures of his past. Tarka, Arian objected. This man sent assassins against the Lord Solar. He should be strung up against a post and burned alive.
It is bold of you to come to Macaria, Crassus, the last of them spoke. Cyrus towered over the rest of the generals, even over Sejanus. His eyes reminded Sejanus of a Fenrisian winter, piercingly blue and icy cold.
But I suppose it doesn't matter now.
Sejanus briefly appraised the general. Cyrus of Larentine, commander of the 7th Army Group. Exterminator of the Olnoth. Inheritor of the Izinif Abyss.
A snake.
That was my thinking, Crassus said. The old bastard is dead, and I had no hand in it. The past is in the past.
The past is in the past,
Arian repeated incredulously. I was punished. The 5th Army Group choked and died on Loki, even more than the 1st. Arian, Sejanus said, taking a glass of Amasec from a side table. You can kill this man and tear apart the Macarian sector for centuries to come. Or we could stop threatening each other and talk.
Always so sensible, Sejanus,
Cyrus noted. His tone was ambiguous. One of us has to be, Sejanus muttered back. Cyrus inclined his head, smile widening. I'll take on anyone who wants to try it, Crassus boasted. The 5th may be decimated, but I've faced worse odds than one.
Enough, Crassus,
Tarka warned. Enough, Sejanus agreed. Oh, don't be soft, Crassus replied. He took a huge swig of his Amasec and reached for another glass. Sejanus wondered what number that was. Anyway, We were talking about what happens next.
What happens next? Sejanus asked. What do you mean?
He wants command of the Lord Solar's expedition,
Cyrus summarized, eyes glinting. If we would let him.
If anyone was better suited for it, I'd say so, Crassus said. I'd fight you, but I'd say so. But the truth is that I deserve it most.
You tried to murder him,
Arion objected. His fingers were no longer twitching, but they still rested on the handle of his pistol.
Crassus grinned. Exactly. I have his courage. I have his balls. You are a braggart with some measure of skill, Lysander said. You are not the Lord Solar. Oh, so you would take his place? Crassus shot back. Loyal, plodding Lysander? You are a dependable general, but you are no Lord Solar. Be careful, Crassus. We have traded an insult to peace. You do not get another.
This is nonsense, Arion interjected. The crusade is won. The Macharian sector stretches across 1,000 worlds. It no longer needs the likes of Macharius, may the Emperor rest his eternal soul. Nor does it need a traitor.
Oh, and what does it need? Crassus asked.
Let me guess, Cyrus interrupted. It needs the promulgation of the Imperial Creed. Is that it, Arion?
Arion rounded on Cyrus.
You disagree? We have all heard about your adventures in the Izinif Abyss. Did the Abyss stare back, I wonder?
Cyrus's gaze was devoid of warmth.
It's as you say, Arion. The Macharian sector is won. It does not need Crassus's brutish warmongering, but nor does it need your agitating fanaticism.
Ha! The giant calls me a brute.
A brute in soul, Crassus, if not in stature.
I'd still wrestle you into the ground, snake. Enough!
Sejanus' voice boomed. It was a voice famous for carrying over macro batteries. It briefly shut them up. The Lord Solar is dead. Shall we raise a glass? The other men met his toast. To Lord Solar Macharius, may we see his like again.
To the Lord Solar,
the other generals repeated, drinking from their cups.
It should be you, Sejanus, Tarka said quietly. You should be his heir.
His words sent a ripple of consternation among the other men. Sejanus shook his head, dispelling the tension. Thank you, Tarka, but no. The truth is that Macharius has no need of an heir. He paused to meet each man's gaze in turn. Arion and Cyrus have said as much. The Macharian crusade has finished. The worlds of Macharia already have their governors and their planetary forces. Soon, the 7 army groups will be separated and assigned to other war zones in the galaxy. He nodded. You see, gentlemen, the expeditionary force no longer exists. It no longer needs a Lord Solar.
You would hand Macharius' legacy to bureaucrats and administrators, Crassus accused. After all the blood we spilled and spent to win it.
We are soldiers, Crassus. Unless you intend to retire, you'll be busy with the next war. Make it a crusade if you want. Sejanus placed a hand on Crassus' shoulder. Macharius has made us all famous, he said. We fought alongside Astais and conquered 1,000 worlds. The Imperium will be clamouring to give you an whole host of troops. Go and make your own legacy, beyond the shadow of the old man. Crassus' craggy face split into a grin.
You know, Sejanus, I just might.
No, Lysander spoke. The muscular nobleman was staring at his amasec.
We cannot abandon these worlds. We would not be abandoning them, Lysander, Sejanus replied. We would be leaving them in the care of the Imperium, as it should be. As it should be? Lysander's voice was almost a whisper. Already I hear from my garrisons. I'm sure you've heard the same stories. Work camps, exploitation, death. We are conquerors, Sejanus, but do not forget those worlds we won with words. We promised them a better way. The Imperium makes liars out of us all. It makes a liar out of him. Cyrus shrugged.
It is the way of the Imperium, Lysander. It can't be helped. The tithe must be met.
Lysander shook his head violently. You are wrong. The 7 army groups can keep the peace. It can guide the transition and deliver on the promises we made.
It doesn't matter, Lysander, Tarka said mournfully. So Macharius will be proved a liar. What of it? He was a liar.
How can you say that, Tarka? The Lord Solar was cunning, but he was not a liar. Not in the manner they will make him.
You are soft, Lysander, Arion interjected. Yes, we have received the same reports. The Imperium makes use of the worlds we won for the Emperor. What of it? Should we tear at our clothes and weep?
Lysander stiffened. I do not expect you to understand.
Through duty we are brought closer to the throne. Through toil we do our duty. Through suffering do we toil. Enough of your sermons, you bastard.
Cyrus spat. His voice fell to a hiss.
If you are so desperate to be a priest, then do the galaxy a favour and resign your command.
Cyrus! Sejanus cried. But Cyrus was not done.
Your kind is a cancer on the Imperium, he said to Arion. A cancer on humanity. Go kiss the feet of some bloated cardinal. Leave Macharius' legacy to better men. Heresy! Arion shouted. You go too far, Cyrus.
He reached for his pistol, managing to draw it before Crassus body slammed him from the side. The 2 men scrambled on the floor. Each landed a few punches before Lysander and Sejanus dragged them apart.
Stop this! Sejanus commanded. Stop this now!
Arion panted. His nose was bleeding. He glared daggers at Crassus, eyes burning with hatred. Crassus grinned. He huffed for breath, still held back by Lysander's muscled arms.
Enough of this, Cyrus snarled. I am done talking with you fools.
He strode towards the door. No one called out to stop him. The door slammed, shaking plaster from its frame. There goes the 7th Army Group, Crassus said. He tapped Lysander's hand. All right, let me go. I'm all right.
We must stop him,
Arion cried.
Did you not hear him? Cyrus is dangerous. He rejects the Imperial Creed. I heard no such thing, Tarka replied. The Emperor exists beyond his church. You would blaspheme as well, Tarka? We all know you are a changed man since Adrantis, but have you lost your faith?
A power rapier was in Tarka's hands before Sejanus could blink, its point pressed gently against Arion's throat. Tarka's mournful eyes shone with a dark fury.
Out of respect for the Lord Solar and the other men here, I will let you live, Arion. But if the name of Adrantis 5 slips from your tongue again, no sense of decorum will save your skin.
He nodded to the other men, withdrawing the point of his rapier with a flourish.
Farewell, gentlemen. I wish you good fortune in the days to come.
Tarka, wait, Sejanus pleaded.
I'm sorry, Sejanus. I just can't do it anymore.
And with that, he was gone. There goes the third army group, Crassus said.
Oh, shut up, Sejanus snapped. His temper was finally wearing thin.
Arian snarled, wiping a spot of blood away from his jugular.
It matters not. Emperor, take him.
It matters, Sejanus replied. It is what it is. Crassus shrugged. His wolves. The old bastard had the truth of it. No one but him could have kept us in line.
His scar split apart a toothy grin.
Don't be so morose, Sejanus. The worlds of the Imperium will keep spinning. The Emperor will keep sitting on his throne on Terra. And we will continue at each other's throats. All as it should be. 7 years, Lysander offered.
A great weariness sunk into his shoulders.
1,000 worlds. How long will it take the second time?
Lysander, Sejanus began, but Lysander cut him off with a shake of his head.
Crassus is right, old friend. No one but the Lord Solar could hold our leashes. We are wolves, watching over a sector of sheep.
It doesn't have to be this way, Sejanus urged.
No, Lysander agreed. But it is our nature.
He smiled ruefully.
On the day Macharius fell, they should have sent assassins to us all.
The two men looked at each other for a few moments. Silent understanding passed between them. Sejanus felt anxiety gnawing at his stomach.
Pah! I'm getting bored of this maudlin nonsense.
Crassus downed his amasec.
I'm off to drink with people who know how to send off a Lord Solar properly. Good seeing you, Sejanus. Lysander, cheer up. Arian, I enjoyed punching you in the face.
The Emperor sees all, Borgen Crassus.
The door was already closing behind Crassus by the time of his reply.
Get a hobby, Arian. Or a woman.
Faithless wretch,
Arian muttered under his breath. He took a deep drink from his glass.
I appreciate what you tried to accomplish here, Lysander told Sejanus. But it would have taken a miracle. And our saint is dead and buried.
I fear what comes next.
As you should. As do I.
A bell tolled through the cathedrals of Macaria. Arian twitched. The agitated expression on his face became excited zeal.
The call to prayer. I must go. Sejanus, Lysander.
He made a hasty exit, leaving the two men alone.
They killed him, Sejanus,
Lysander said quietly.
Now they strangle the worlds we'd won for him. It isn't right.
Sejanus shook his head.
Don't do this, he pleaded.
You won't win. Lysander smiled.
No, I should think not.
He held out a hand.
Goodbye, old friend.
Sejanus shook it. His shoulders slumped.
Goodbye, my friend.
It had taken Lord Solar Macharius 7 years to win the 1,000 worlds of the Macharian sector. The Macharian heresy had lasted 70. Sejanus leaned back in his throne, gesturing away the hololithic reports. Sejanus, Sector Lord of the Macharian sector, the true loyalist in a company of wolves, servant of the Imperium.
An old, sad man, full of regrets, he thought.
He was the last of them left. Even the dark days of the Macharian heresy now faded into memory, remembered only by the Gen Hanst and the Juvenat treated.
Lysander had been the first of them to die, branded a heretic and a traitor. His worlds had been crushed beneath the tanks of the Imperial Guard, his city set aflame by companies of the Adeptus Astartes. The authorities maintained that he had lost his mind and his faith. They said that General Lysander had renounced the Emperor and embraced the madness of chaos. But Sejanus had never believed them. Despite it all, Sejanus still missed him. Then Tarka, haunted Tarka. Sejanus had never been able to establish how the Julius had died. Some said that Tarka had driven a blade into his own abdomen, almost managing to bisect himself on the shattered remains of Adrantis V. Other rumours hinted at assassins and inquisitorial intrigues. It was pointless and dangerous to try and learn more. Sejanus had long since abandoned any hope of discovering the truth. Next, Cyrus, a man that Sejanus did not miss. The Minotaur's chapter had met his fleet on the edges of the Jade Vale, and a vast graveyard of ships gave testament to the chaos that followed. Some said that Cyrus had somehow slipped away during the battle, that he had employed demonic sorceries he had learned in the Izinif Abyss, but Sejanus was unconvinced. No, the traitor Cyrus was dead and gone, and the galaxy was better off without him. Then Arian. The Zealot never turned from the Imperium. Not officially, at least. General Arian had remained loyal to the Emperor, but he had blatantly disregarded the commands of the High Lords of Terror. His purges had been calamitous. Whole worlds had burned. Billions of lives had been lost. Now, the Ministorum called the man a saint. Sejanus wrinkled his nose. They wanted to call him a saint as well. Sejanus expected that the deacons and the cardinals would get their way once he was dead. Finally, Crassus. Despite it all, Crassus had proven a true servant of the Imperium throughout the Macharian heresy. Sejanus smiled. He remembered the man's retirement party. Even now, it surprised him that someone like Borgan Crassus had wanted to retire. Alas, the wolf had been tamed by meat and drink. The gout had taken him barely 5 years later. They were trying to make a saint of him, too. Sejanus chuckled.
Saint Crassus. How absurd.
You seem troubled, Father.
Sejanus blinked away his thoughts. His eyes settled on a middle-aged woman in military uniform. Eliana, come closer, daughter. My eyes aren't what they used to be. Eliana obliged. Her heels clicked before Sejanus' throne. She looked splendid in her colonel pips, her uniform neat and pressed.
You seemed lost in thought, my lord.
That is the nature of old men, my dear. We occupy the past more readily than the present. Eliana smiled.
Old wars?
And old friends.
I am to be deployed to the Sabbat worlds, Father.
Aye. Orcs, are you? Come closer, daughter. Hold this old man's hand. Sejanus reached for his daughter. His own hand was marked with sallow spots, trembling from age.
You seem troubled, Father,
Eliana said gently. I fear this is the last time we'll meet.
It'll take more than a few orcs to kill Sejanus.
I'll worry about you, Eliana, but that's not what I meant. Eliana squeezed his hand.
You have lived a long and good life, Father,
she told him.
This sector exists because of you. Not because of Macharius. Because of you.
Sejanus shook his head, but didn't bother arguing. You look just like Cythera did at your age, he said softly. Eliana held her other hand against her father's wrinkled cheek.
I'll be back before the next Sanguinalia. I will see you then.
Sejanus forced a smile to his face. Fight well, Doi.
I'm a Sejanus, father.
Sejanus watched his daughter exit his halls. His mind dwelled on the other children he had sent to the Imperium's wars. Cythera had been the first. Perhaps that had been what made it the hardest.
Not that it feels easy now.
He slumped back in the throne, muttering to no one but ghosts of the past. Your wolves, sir.
Thank you for listening to this video from the Archive Tower. If you enjoyed this story, please like and subscribe to the channel.